Hello, if I could have everybody's attention. If I could get everybody's attention, please. Somebody needs to clink a glass. No silverware. Hello, everybody. We're asking everybody to please come in and find your seats. We'll get started in just a moment. We had a little bit of a late start. We had some TV interviews going on, so I appreciate everybody being so patient. All right. Hello, everybody. If I could have everybody's attention. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to welcome everybody to the Electric Vehicle Association annual meeting. For those of you that don't know, I'm Elaine Borsett. I'm the president of the Electric Vehicle Association and very happy to be here in Schenectady today. So this year, EVA members have come from all over to our very first East Coast EVA annual meeting. So it's an awesome thing to be here in the Electric City. What a better place to hold the Electric Vehicle Association meeting. And I love it. I drove out here from California. I met people at board member Kate Crook's house last night from North Carolina. We have a large contingent from Ohio. We just have people that came in from Florida, from all over, New York, New Jersey. So thank you for attending. We really appreciate it. Before we begin the business meeting, I'd like to introduce the mayor of Schenectady City, Mayor Gary McCarthy. So Schenectady was recognized in 2022 by EVA as the EV City of the Year. So we're very happy to be here. Thank you, Mayor McCarthy.
Hello. Welcome to Schenectady. It is an honor for Schenectady to host the National Electric Vehicle Association's annual meeting and awards ceremony. It's about 130 years ago, Thomas Edison came to Schenectady and set up and then eventually founded what today is General Electric. The first television broadcast occurred within the city of Schenectady. The X-ray was developed here in the city of Schenectady. Silly putty was developed here in Schenectady also. There's actually some debate about that. Other people are claiming it, but this community has a long list of leading edge, world-changing innovations and technologies. And you're part of that today. Not only the United States, but the world is undergoing a change in terms of how we view transportation and what propels vehicles and some of those everyday things in life. And some of the debate has shifted a little bit in Washington, where some of the things aren't quite as clear. But I want you to give yourself a pat on the back because you are part of that transition. You're the next generation of leadership and innovators within your respective communities. And so I thank you for the work that you're doing. Again, thank you for choosing Schenectady. Want to give a pat on the back to Linkwell and Kate and the team here. It's one of the fastest growing companies, not only in Schenectady, but in the country. And again, it's because of the changes that are occurring and the opportunities that exist within the marketplace. And so just to recognize this formal ceremony here, I've put out an official proclamation from the office of the mayor to recognize this not only for today, but for historical purposes. And whereas the Electric Vehicle Association is North America's leading volunteer organization that accelerates the adoption of electric vehicles by supporting thousands of members as they educate communities about the benefits of driving electric vehicles. And whereas for the first time in the organization's 50-year history, the National Electric Vehicle Association will be hosting its annual meeting and awards ceremony on the East Coast, right here in Schenectady, New York. And whereas the National Drive Electric Week is celebrated every year across the country to raise awareness of the many benefits of all electric and hybrid cars, trucks, motorcycles, and more. And whereas the partnership with Linkwell has brought Schenectady to be the top attended event in the country for the past 3 years, with 600 RSVPs and 120 registered vehicles, many ride and drive opportunities. And Charles Steinmetz, who was an innovator in terms of developing alternate AC electricity, he was driving an electric car here in Schenectady in 1914, courtesy of Union College, which currently owns that vehicle. And whereas after 50 years of holding the annual meeting and award ceremony in San Diego, the Electric Vehicle Association has moved across the country and has chosen the Electric City that has a rich history of innovation. Now, therefore, I, Gary McCarthy, Mayor of the City of Schenectady, do hereby proclaim May 3rd, 2025 as Electric Vehicle Association Day in the City of Schenectady. And the City of Schenectady is proud and honored to be the first city to host the annual meeting and award ceremony on the East Coast after 50 years. And Madam President, if sir, the Executive Director will present it to him formally.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Has Schenectady not been a terrific host? Let's thank the mayor.
Enjoy your evening and your stay in Schenectady.
So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Really appreciate that. So we will call the official annual meeting. We will call it to order right now. So if I can do a little housekeeping, if everybody can silence your phones. The meeting is being recorded. We'll have that available. And for those of you online, you can engage via the chat feature. So as you know, EVA is the leading organization that has thousands of volunteers, all of you that educate and advocate for the rapid adoption of EV. And for that, we thank you. We also want to thank our national business members from 2024, National Grid, Linkwell, which they've been an amazing host this weekend. Leo and Sons Auto Repair, Whitricity, JuiceNet, EV Options, First Energy, QC Charge, Orange and Rockland, Nautilus Solar, and Recurrent, who gives us battery health reports. The business partners are so important to EVA. We, for years, relied solely on member dues. So to have business members that step up and help support EVA is just imperative. So really want to take a moment to thank all of these businesses and encourage new businesses to jump in and help. For our partner organizations, they are critical also. They really help EVA amplify our message, they share our message, and vice versa. So our partner organizations for 2024 were EOPA, the elected officials to protect America. And in fact, Kate and I are heading to DC tomorrow, right after the ride and drive to participate. Kate's going to be on a panel, and I'm going to present their award from EVA to them there. Cultura and our partners for Indu and Deed, which is now Deem and Indim, Sierra Club, EV Hybrid Noir, Plug in America. And I always tell people I think EVA is the most important partner for National Drive Electric Week and Drive Electric Earth Month. We typically do 60 to 70% of all of the events around the country. So we are just a critical partner there. Gen 180, we're currently doing the 10,000 rides program with them. So you'll see the stickers on the table there. What we know is that even just someone taking a ride in an electric vehicle, they're 3 times as likely to go out and purchase or lease an electric vehicle. So take that sticker, have people hit that QR code when they register that they took a ride in your vehicle, then they can, they'll be eligible for some prizes from Gen 180 and EVA. And Route Zero, that's been a great partner for us. We helped them with the Route Zero relay that went across the country to just raise awareness. We do all kinds of programs with them, EV stories, EV love stories, to just help amplify and get the message out there. Consumer Reports, we're currently doing a survey, a charging survey with them. So all of our members and anybody that sees it can participate in that charging survey to make charging better across the country. So we really appreciate and thank all of our partners. Now we'll get into some of the more boring things. So financials though, this is important to EVA. EVA, as I mentioned, for decades relied solely on member dues and donations. We have in the last 2 to 3 years really stepped up in searching out and qualifying and obtaining grants and other funding. So it's been huge for us. And these are our costs. I apologize, our treasurer is not here today. And our new bookkeeper kind of lumped everything into professional fees there, but that covers everything from advertising that we do to boost our messages, our staff costs, and all types of other things. But I'm just really proud of the fact that we've gone from an organization that had an annual budget of around $100,000 to $150,000 a year to one that is looking much higher these days. So our membership and events, as I mentioned, we do so many events. Our chapters are just so active. They do all types of events all over the country. We have over 22,000 subscribers. We currently have 11 business members, over 1,100 paid members. We have new chapters coming on board. Metro Atlanta is one, Ohio, all over the state. Delaware, we have some re-energized chapters, Central Florida, San Juan Islands. And again, as I mentioned, these chapters do typically over 60% of all the National Drive Electric Week and Drive Electric Earth Month events around the country. So good work. These are just a few pictures from all of the events that our chapters do. But it just really helps illustrate. We have chapters that do ride and drives. We have chapters that do display events. We did Route Zero, the Rivian or the Lightning. And that picture was from in front of the Capitol for press conferences that we did. And we have chapters that do EV out to the ball game. We have chapters that do road rallies across the state of Wisconsin to highlight, yes, you can drive across the state of Wisconsin. There are charging stations, et cetera. So really appreciate all of the work that all of our chapters do. Schenectady, as we know, largest National Drive Electric Week in the country, 3 years running. And those are the first 3 years that Kate organized that event. So kudos to her. So a reminder to all of our chapters, you can submit your info to EVA and help us get that message out there. We have a really easy way to do it, myeva.org/submit photo. And you can submit one or a bunch. EV panels and interviews. That's another thing that EVA has really done a lot of in the past year or so. And really proud to say I was helped lead a panel about EV momentum at the Detroit Auto Show. We had Mike Stanton from the National Automobile Dealers Association giving his perspective and talking about the importance of continuing tax credits to dealers and other businesses. We had Kate has done numerous panels, EV Charging Summit. We've done interviews, and I don't even know if I have time to go in. I'm going to skip through some of this. Automotive World, Financial Times, Detroit Free Press, CBS News, Motor Magazine, Marketplace, NPR, New York Times, ABC Australia, Association of Federal Retired Employees, Politico, Climate Newsletter, Utility Drive, Washington Examiner, Sierra Magazine, NerdWallet. The list just goes on and on. So I want to thank John Hyam, who is our media contact within EVA. He does a great job. Kate and myself do a lot of the work. Chris Selleck, our new executive director, has taken a lot of interviews. So we're really doing everything we can to get out there and push the word about electric vehicles. Let's see. Press conferences. Yes, we did press conferences all over the country this year. We did Greensboro, we did Detroit and Lansing, we did South Carolina. And so again, this is really important to get to the right people and get the message out. And so I'm really proud that EVA has really taken the lead in doing a lot of that. These are just, again, just a few of our EV stories. We've done national press releases. We've done national news stories on people that charge their vehicle from home, people that do road trips, people that just love their vehicle, why they love it, etc. So be sure and follow us on social media and follow and comment and help us boost our reach. Webinars. We did a series of webinars this year, everything from EV tax credit, electric school buses, workplace charging, and deed and INDU webinars. You can find a lot of this on our resources page on our website, so be sure and check that out. So for now, I'm going to wrap my part up, and I'm going to turn things over to Kate Crook. Again, she's our EVA board member and partner and engagement at Linkwell, and just an amazing, amazing force to be reckoned with. So Kate, turn things over to you.
Oh. Man, this is serious and a lot to live up to. So first of all, bear with me because I have new eyes and hopefully I can read this. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I am so fortunate to be part of this organization, and I'm excited to look ahead. As Elaine said, 2024 was busy. 2025, we're halfway through it. Again, for some of you who've been part of the organization for a while, you know that usually we do January to January, and this year we decided January in New York was probably not the best choice. So moving it to spring, we have a little bit of overlap. So some Some of these things we've already started, but we have a long road ahead of us for 2025. So I want to talk about the goals and objectives and the initiatives for the organization for 2025. And the first is why you're all here. You are the leaders in this group, in this organization. And what we need to do is continue to amplify the message and grow our chapters. So this is what I'm going to ask you, all of our team leaders, all of our city captains, all of our team, or all of our group leaders, ask your members to make it official. 2025 is the year that they sign up and actually become a paid member of the Electric Vehicle Association. I know within my own group, we have a lot of folks that are riding shotgun. They're kind of in the mood, but they're not quite committed yet. It's time to commit. We have a lot of work, a lot of messages to deliver, and the long and short of it is it costs money. So we need to make that commitment. So please sign up for your chapters. And in 2025, this is the year. Make it official. Elaine already pointed it out, but we have committed as an organization to the 10,000 ride campaign. And she stole my spot by telling the statistic that just one ride in an electric vehicle makes people 3 times more likely to purchase. So if you haven't seen the campaign, again, it's on the resource pages on the website, and I happily put it on the QR code on these stickers. Actually, Chris put them on the stickers on your table. So take it home with you, stick it on your car, put it on your steering wheel, put it on those fabulous infotainment systems that all you EV drivers have in a safe location. But use that QR code. When you take someone in your car with you for a ride, scan it, take a picture, tell people that people are interested. I'm asking you to let's get to 10,000 rides before the end of the year. We can do it, but we need your help. So tomorrow is a great opportunity to try out the QR code. So take it with you. I know that the New York Capital District EVA will be putting scanning our QR codes next week as we take the Albany Tulip Queens and Court through on their very first rides. None of them have driven an electric car yet. We're very excited about that. So think about how you can do that in your own communities. Preview for 2025. We as Electric Vehicle Association were awarded DOE funding for DEEM Drive Electric Earth Month. And it's so hard now because I always liked NDO and NDEM, National Drive Electric Month. It's no longer just 1 week in September, guys. We have a whole month to bang this out, so we can do it. So we've gotten money from the DOE for test drive events. We've got funding for 65 events in 2020 across 2025, 26, and 27, with the expectation that we do 50 test drives per event and get 1,000 attendees per event. So make sure, again, when you're using those resources that you get folks to commit, get them to register. Showing up is fabulous, but take them to that next level and get them involved with the organization and make sure that they are signing up officially. And those funds are going to help our chapters support our chapters directly. I know we all do a lot of fundraising individually, but hopefully this funding can help trickle down into your chapters to help provide support for advertising, refreshments, displays, signs, all of those things, and all of those resources that we know we all have in our basements. One of the next items, I'm super proud of this organization for putting together and rebranding and refreshing in 2025 is trying to increase support and increase sponsorships and community support. On our webpage is a brand new sponsorship package. So you guys can take a look at this, bring this back to your chapters. You don't have to recreate the wheel. It's new sponsor packages. Again, they're all online, but I want to point out too that this should be a conglomeration. This should be working together. Those who are supporting you at your local levels at those higher dollar amounts, they're entitled to national recognition. Don't leave that out. And I think we have some sponsors here today that have taken and seized on that opportunity. So at those higher levels, they get a blog article. They get their name on our national website. That's important to sponsors when you're asking for their financial support to give them something in return that they can go back to their marketing people and be excited about. So don't miss out on those opportunities. This is my personal favorite. In 2025, we as the National Electric Vehicle Association are no longer busting myths. I ask you, this is a Kate Crook ask. Stop saying it. We are no longer busting myths. We are stating facts. I'd say you cannot argue with facts. This is a safe space. But we need all of your help. We need to be stating facts. The words myth busting psychologically puts people on the defensive. And we've been saying it for years. I'm busting the myth about EVs. We can't say that anymore. So if you have documents, if you have things on your websites individually, I strongly encourage you to take it down and reorganize and use the language. We are stating facts, things that people cannot argue with. Range anxiety fact, it's right there. And what I want to point out with just these 3 examples that John Hyam and the team, Morgan, who is back in California, has been working on these for the EVA that you should be using. These are facts, and we've gotten over 20,000 organic, this is just Facebook hits on these posts alone, individually, without spending any extra dollars, just by stating facts, because we heard you as the chapter saying we need something to tell our friends that are doing the actuallys. You know those people. You know them. Well, actually, I drive 45 miles a day. You're special. Most people drive 37. So these are the things that we want to point out. We want to take back. We want to tell the truth in a factual way and show people that they can make the change. Because the reality is you can EV. And I ask again, make it go viral. Show that fact, show that hashtag, and say, yeah, you can, because everybody in this room knows you can. We all drive electric, and it's all probably bettered our life and our environment. So remember, you can EV, and keep that in your mind for 2025. Every time you're talking to someone, yeah, you can. Prove me wrong. I always say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And the last thing that we're kind of pulling it back together is aligning our messaging. Now is the time more than ever to share real stories. We don't need to make it up because we live it. The public needs to show support of EVs. We are that public. It's our opportunity to share that messaging. Engaging with our leaders. We are all leaders in this room, whether you like it or not. You have a story to tell it. We have some great leaders in our room that are listening, and they want to hear from you because they can't be everywhere. So now is not the time for the actuallys. It's the time to state the facts, to be polite, to meet people where they are. You're going to be hit with resistance, but we can fight it with facts, and we can be polite, and we can be leaders in that message. Finally, I ask you, just keep your foot on the accelerator. We can do this. And I know you can, but I do appreciate all that you are doing. And the facts are the facts. The EV industry, e-mobility, is creating jobs and building industries. For those of you who went on the tour yesterday, you see it. I'm proud to be part of the e-mobility technology team at Linkwell, where we are building EV charging stations here in Schenectady, New York, in the United States. We're building software technology domestically, and I'm very fortunate to work with our keynote speaker today, and is going to talk about the tech software. This is critical infrastructure we're talking about. It should be ours. The facts state it's saving consumers money. Again, we know it. It's reducing emissions. And bonus, EVs are fun to drive. With that, I would like to turn it over to Chris Selleck, the Executive Director of the National Electric Vehicle Association, to greet you, finish up the rest of the business at hand, and we can move on to the fun. So Chris, take it away.
That fellow depicted there is my better looking twin brother, apparently. So I'm excited to be here in upstate New York with you, and excited to be your new executive director. My friend Rap Hankins from Dayton calls me at least once a week to remind me that now that I spend less time in Dayton and more time working with EVA, he calls me and says every time, "What can I do to help EVA succeed?" And this is my opportunity to tell you, Rap, you've got it backwards. It's my job, and EVA is invested in an executive director position to help chapters Dayton and all of you. We have a team, we have an operations director, we have a communications director, Nick is in the back there. We have a graphic designer, Morgan, who's in California. Aaron is behind the scenes in Austin, Texas. And we have an accountant on the EVA team now to do what? To help all of you succeed, to help you do more outreach, to help you do more ride and drive events. So Rap, I appreciate your weekly calls and asking me how you can help, but it's my job to help you and everyone, and I'm happy to be here to do that. So we have a couple of things just to keep things moving along here. Our keynote speakers today, and Kate, if you, I'll talk if you want to get everybody organized up here. Or, yeah, so yeah, we should have just had you stay up here. So come on back up. And where is our friend Nick? Nick, you want to come up too, and I'll introduce you as you're getting things set up here. It's my pleasure to introduce our panelists of leaders, true leaders in the EV industry. One has been leading the charge behind the scenes, developing software solutions for EV drivers, for all of us, for the people we talk with every day. The other, who's going to join us virtually via Zoom in a second, is in front of the camera, and you're going to recognize who he is in a minute. He spends his time introducing the whole world to all things EV because he's a YouTube star. So please help me welcome Kyle Connor of Out of Spec Video fame, and Nick Bordeaux from right here in Schenectady, who I understand is the leading expert in the world on plug-in charge. Is that right? So please come on up to the stage.
You have to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, so we're actually going to adjourn the official meeting. We are a nonprofit organization. We have to have an annual public meeting. We had the meeting, closed the meeting. We're going to go on to the real stars of the show. And if you, Katie, if you'll give me a second while you're getting seated here, or you're going to stand for, I actually need to unplug you and plug in over here, and Michael is going to help us. So, because you don't want to see me, you want to see Kyle Connor.
I need this though.
Yes, and your power cable when you plug too.
Oh, it should be fine. All righty, we're gonna get Kyle online. So once again, Nick, thank you for being in the hot seat here. And we're gonna see, is Kyle online? Because I can't see him from here. So thank you both for being here, for addressing our membership. And I want to start off asking an easy question for both of you, and we're going to have to play around, but my goal is here to tell us a little bit about your EV journey, what got you here today, not just what you drive, but we do want to hear about that too. We want to know what kind of EV you drive, but what has driven you both to be part of this industry? Do we want to start with Kyle? Can you
Hey
hear
guys,
us?
does the audio all work from my side?
We're good.
Okay, well, I was really planning on being there with you. I really apologize. We had some last minute things come up, but sorry to leave you in the hot seat over there. I would happily sit next to you. Yeah, so again, huge appreciation from my side for letting me join this. And congrats to all the growth you guys are having. It's super cool. And yeah, from my perspective, we can talk about anything you would like whatsoever. And, you know, I'm just lucky enough I get to drive pretty much every EV on the market and share it with our viewers.
Nick, what about you? What are you driving these days? Let's start there. Easy softball question to get you warmed up. Oh, is this on, Mike?
Can you hear me now?
Closer. There you go.
There we go. So yeah, I'm actually driving a Tesla Model Y currently, my second one, and hoping to have a third one here shortly. So it's very interesting. I've been a EV driver now since about 2018, and it's been an incredible experience. And now I'm lucky enough, at Linkwell to be able to actually work on the problems behind the scenes as well as just drive the vehicles.
Awesome. Kyle, do you have a favorite electric vehicle in your fleet of electric vehicles?
Oh, dang, that's such a tough question. I have like a 1970 commuter car, like 74, something like that. So that's kind of a cool thing, like a cheese wedge. Yeah, I mean, I like the weird stuff. I have a first gen RAV4 EV I drive quite a bit. And then, we've got some of the new stuff as well. We just picked up a new Rivian R1S 2 days ago. That's been pretty interesting. And yeah, I try and drive something different every day though.
Awesome. Now, again, now we're gonna get into it a little bit. Again, I want to hear both of you, and Nick, maybe we'll start with you. I want to kind of tell us about your EV journey. I know you started driving in 2018, but what really got you really excited about EVs, and then how you've gotten to where you are now?
Yeah, I think the best part about what I do today is I get to solve complex problems, which keeps me excited. But they're also problems that have the ability to change the world and make the world better for the next generation of inhabitants. And that's incredibly important to what I do at Linkwell, and why I'm at Linkwell today is being able to make that change while also having the fun of solving problems that haven't been solved before. Right. So we're not just solving, we're not building the world's, millionth CRM system that's, everyone else has already done, and we're just making it 1% better. We get to actually solve challenges that haven't been solved before at all. And that's, to me, that's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
That and Red Bull, maybe?
A lot of Red Bull. A lot of Red Bull.
And Kyle, what about you? What got you on the EV journey? What led you to being here and telling the world about electric vehicles? Give us the inside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a car enthusiast. I've always been into cars and, sort of grew up. And my dad, who also now works for us and has a YouTube channel, certainly sparked all that interest. He's a car enthusiast as well. And, while I certainly, all of our content is centered around electric cars. I still have some, I know it sounds crazy, some combustion love somewhere deep inside me, that I like, enthusiast sports cars and stuff. But generally electric cars are, clearly the choice to drive every day. There's no engine warm-up time. You're full throttle out of the garage laying rubber, which is awesome. Road trips are super fun. You meet people at charging stations. And now they've just gotten so easy where it's like, yeah, just charge at home, go anywhere you want. Don't even think about it. They're faster, they're quieter, and actually they're like more technologically enabled as well. There's just amazing things you can do with these cars. And we've sort of seen this intersection of electric cars and tech coming together, not only in the self-driving space. We've seen, especially in China, a bunch of driver assistance systems doing some incredible things in passenger vehicles that you can buy, but also just simple, nice things where you can kick on the climate before you get there, or have a dog mode to leave your pets in the car when you're gone. So from my perspective, electric is clearly the choice for a daily driver.
Awesome. I mean, these are all things, again, I think it really resonates with us as members that we're hearing this and that you're amplifying those messages. And I hear, like what you just said, it's that marriage of tech and hardware. And Nick, yesterday, when those of us who were at the tour of Linkwell, we kind of saw some of that marriage of tech and hardware, and you were behind a lot of it. Something that we talked about on the tour was that user experience. And this group here was all about learning more about plug-in charge, and something that really got to them was guest charging, not having to download an app all the time. So I'm going to leave it to both of you to tell us about what's kind of that future look in the EV space. What is the thing that you're looking into or that you're hearing more about? I guess I've got to get to the question, but tell us a little bit about what you see in that marriage of hardware, software, and where is it going? What do you think? And what are you doing to be a part of it?
Yes, I'll start. I think in the EV industry, we have the potential to change transportation forever, not just from a, combustion engine to an electric vehicle, but I think transportation, the paradigm of how we transport humans is going to change here in the next couple of years. And really, there's 4 technologies that are driving that change. The biggest one, which you mentioned, and you might, the buzzword in the industry now is plug and charge. Internally, we call that autonomous authorization. So vehicles being able to authorize themselves without human interaction, that's one of the 4 technologies that is really driving this change forward. You also have stuff like vehicle reliability. So one of the best parts about EVs, many of you guys are EV drivers and probably know this already, is they don't need repairs as often as their predecessors. And that really lends itself not only to personal drivers, but when you get into corporate fleets and business fleets, that's incredibly important. And then you have battery technology is increasing day in and day out. So batteries are getting more dense, and that requires a smaller footprint to go farther. So it's, over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see electric vehicles that have 1,000+ mile range. It's just going to happen. And then last but not least, I think Kyle alluded to it earlier, is just AI and autonomous driving. And when you take all 4 of those technologies together, the really cool part is my prediction is in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to have this economy where everyday people like you and me don't need a vehicle, right? The cost to drive and the cost per mile for, Uber and, Tesla's robotaxi, when it comes, is going to be so low that I can just pick up an autonomous vehicle. It's going to pick me up my house, bring me to work, bring me home, and it's going to be a couple bucks. It's not going to be, versus today where I have a $500 a month car payment or $400 a month car payment or whatever. You'll have this economy of vehicle where I can just flag down an autonomous vehicle will come pick me up, bring me to where I need to go, bring me home. And that's going to solve a lot of the challenges that we have today, because today your vehicle sits in your driveway most, hours on end, sits at our work parking lot hours on end, and we'll sort of alleviate that immediately, which is pretty cool.
Kyle, I'm
Yeah.
going to turn it over to you.
Well, the topic around having autonomous cars and sort of not owning a vehicle, yeah, been talking about this a lot recently on our side as well. I actually was just in California a couple weeks ago, Waymoing everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. But then I think about, okay, what is the incremental cost difference between Waymowing everywhere, which to be honest was more expensive than Uber, but a better experience. You don't have, some smelly guy driving you around that clearly doesn't know how to drive safely. So, that was interesting. But then I'm like, how much more would I rather spend to just keep my stuff in the car and then to have my car wherever I was? And I go, well, I think there's got to be a mix. I'm certainly, and I think a lot of older generations as well would agree, it's nice to have your own vehicle. Like that is something I want. As a car enthusiast, I love it. I don't like the idea of just having autonomous cars everywhere that I don't own. And yeah, I mean, these are the topics, along with anything, happy to talk about charging performance as well. I think that's a huge topic that we've been covering, maybe even too closely the last few years. But essentially what we've learned on our side is there's clearly no single solution that's going to work for everyone. And the point of out of spec and what, I try to work on every day is, okay, find the coolest stuff out there and then go show that. And then there will definitely be a group of people that are interested, and probably an even larger group of people who aren't interested. And the funny thing about YouTube is the video does kind of get shared around to everyone, whether or not they're interested or not. And I get to hear all the raw feedback because people are behind a screen. They don't mind sharing how they really feel. And we get to see truly what people think about this stuff. And I was surprised at how many people hated the idea of rideshare autonomous cars. And I'm like, damn, that kind of sounds cool. I want to try that out and look into it. But that was interesting. And same on charging performance. I'm always like, let's get megawatt level charging. I want to charge for 3 minutes and get out of there. And we have a ton of EV drivers who watch our stuff and they're like, you know what, a 10-15 minute break, that's not the end of the world. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So there's definitely like choice. You'll be able to buy the fastest charging cars on the market, and you'll be able to buy slower charging cars, hopefully at a less expensive price, and just spend the money where your priorities lie. So while I'm not necessarily working on the technological solutions, I'm not in the day-to-day, I do think we have a pretty good idea as to what groups of people are looking for certain solutions.
Awesome. And I think we can just follow up on that a little bit because, Kyle had mentioned that he heard the feedback and he gets to synthesize that and put it out. I think in your experience, from what I know, is you've synthesized some of that feedback from customers and users and have been able to, in your own feedback as an EV driver, been able to make changes. And I don't want to harp on it, but this group was really all about the guest charging. So for those who weren't at the tour, if you want to maybe talk a little bit about it and how I think that came from feedback from customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so when we build software, the primary motivator for that is customer feedback. So we'll put something out, we'll get, similar to what Kyle mentioned, we'll get negative reviews, we'll get positive reviews. And what we try to do is try to take those negative reviews and then adjust the software accordingly. And one of the biggest problems we saw, back in 2020 when we were setting up our own charging network was I have to download an app. I have to put my car details in. I have to put all this personal information in just to start a charge. So one of the things we did at Linkwell, and I know a lot of other companies are doing now today, is sort of taking that upfront friction of charging your vehicle, alleviating that completely with something like guest charging, where now you can scan a QR code and with one button click, now you're starting your charge. And then we sort of lean on, you have such a good charging experience that first time that now we offer the ability to start an app or sign up for our app and get additional benefits like discounts, like loyalty points and stuff like that.
Awesome. I'm gonna throw out another kind of easy question for the moment because I think both of you probably have different opinions on this. And this question actually came from one of our EVA members. In your opinion, if you could design the most epic EV and Nick or EV charging station, what would you have to include? Most epic EV if you could design it. Kyle, what do you think?
This would take 3 hours to explain, and that
In
most
4
of my
minutes or less.
most of my videos are 3 hours anyway. So maybe it's actually an interesting topic. Maybe I'll make a video about it and be like, what are the attributes that I would choose to have in a car? You always have to balance cost, of course. And so do you go super cheap and just give as much as you can, kind of that slate approach, or do you go throw in as much content as possible and bend the rules of physics? And man, I don't even want to start on things because it would take me forever to explain. But clearly we would have insane power density cells. So that would be megawatt charging or above. A fantastic driver assistance that's completely defeatable. While I'm excited about autonomous cars, I am a driving enthusiast. I want to be able to drive when I'm on a good road. Needs to have the ability to have great driveline tuning, be able to go sideways when I want it to, and really perform as a performance car when I want. But then since we're talking the dream world, well, I like off-roading as well, so then let's get some off-road tires on there and go take it in the trail. In fact, like Rivian and actually my Cybertruck and F-150 Lightning to a degree, they kind of have a lot of the characteristics of what I like in vehicles. I just kind of want to dial everything up to 11 in each category. And that is not representative of a true consumer. That is just a Kyle Connor silly mobile that I would love to own, something like that.
I mean, I think that's pretty great, Nick. If you could design, it's yours. I mean,
Yeah.
cost is no objective. Physics don't count. Like, what would it have to have?
See, I think for me, designing the perfect EV would revolve around affordability, but also the durability. So for me, it's just the vehicle that would never fail, right? A vehicle that we would have, I'd never have to repair it. I'd never have to take it to a shop. It would just work every day that I needed to. And charging for me is not as important, simply because, I charge at home like 80% of the other EV drivers. So it's not like I don't need to charge in 2 minutes. I have to sleep. I'm a human being, so I have to sleep for 8 hours anyway. So I leave it plugged in. But again, that durability and, a vehicle just never fails.
And the topic keeps coming up too. User experience is important to all of you. It's important to us here. And most importantly, it's important to convince others that this is a right direction to go in as far as e-mobility. In your opinions, and again, knowing that you are all out in the industry from the back end side and from the forward facing more often, how do you think things can improve, or what do we need to tell people that can improve and how we're moving forward? Kyle, how would you improve?
This is tough because I've been to a few events and a few meetings, and I always feel like I'm preaching to the choir at these things. I mean, it's similar to an event like this where everyone in the room, I'm sure, is familiar with electric cars. And I know this isn't necessarily a promotional event or anything, but this is the toughest thing. How do you get people who don't want to listen? And to me, it's always just my personal goal has never been to try to convince anyone to drive a particular car. It's just to kind of show their capabilities, and if that happens to work for them, then hopefully they end up in those things. I really don't know, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, like, how do you get people interested in electric? First of all, what are the motivations from my particular side? Does it matter to me if someone drives an EV or not? On the cynical side, it's like, no, that's one more person that can clog up a charging station that I'm going to be stuck behind. On the other side, it's like, okay, that's a new viewer that, okay, maybe can learn from some of our educational content. So from my perspective, I've never been one to try to convince anyone to buy anything. It's just been like, let's put up cars head to head, combustion versus electric. And we've done a lot of gas, diesel, and battery electric comparisons. We're working on a hydrogen versus battery electric comparison series coming up soon. And it's just, get it out there, do interesting stuff that people are going to click on regardless of the powertrain. And hopefully through those videos, they'll figure out whatever powertrain or fueling source works best for them.
I agree. I think you guys are already doing what in my mind is the most important thing, which is ride and drives, right? I think it's incredibly funny you mention it, because literally just this week I was having a conversation with somebody I play soccer with, and he mentioned that his next vehicle is going to be an electric car. And he was traditionally one of those people that we've all met that was like, oh, I'm never going to drive an electric car. And we got to talking about why it is. And he delivers packages for Amazon and got to deliver packages in one of the electric Rivian trucks. And he's like, it's amazing that I have during the day, I'll drive this Rivian truck all around. Then I'll go home and I'll drive my truck. And it feels slower and it feels like it's lagging behind, right? My Rivian truck my Rivian van will accelerate instantly. And then now I go home and I step on the gas pedal and it takes 3-4 seconds for my gas engine to start to pick up. So I think ride and drives is going to be that critical component, because for me, it's once you get behind the wheel and you feel that just rush of instant everything, there's no going back. And then I think we're just going to let technology do the rest, because electric vehicles are just going to continue to get cheaper. They're going to continue to get more efficient. They're going to continue to be more technologically loaded, autonomous driving, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's just over time that it's just gonna be a better choice. So technology will do it for us.
Yeah, and maybe I can add to that real quick. I think it's up to the automakers to make cool stuff. Like, no one really honestly wants to be driving around a 2012 Nissan Leaf. That's not exciting. I own one. I like it. But like, that's not an exciting car to try to convince someone to buy. Like, you come out with something wild that's interesting that can clearly do something better than combustion cars. There we go. Now we're talking. That's what gets people interested in EVs.
And what we definitely hear as an organization, as that statement that you just said, is that my next vehicle is going to be an EV. We know that. Like, our youth, the people who are experiencing it, they're getting ready to come into the industry. And before we wrap it up, I do want to talk about, we try very hard as an organization to get more young people into our group, into being an EV driver and to consider it. In both of your industries, what would you say to someone who is interested in becoming part of the e-mobility line of work? So whether they're a coder, whether they're out trying to be an influencer like you, Kyle, what would you say to someone who's interested in kind of getting in the door and making this something that's part of their career? Nick, do you want to start? Do you do anything special? Like, what would you say to a young student who wants to work for you?
Yeah, it's actually funny because I think I said this to your son 2.5 years ago. It's that, you're going to take a leap and it's sort of like the Nike commercial. You just do it, right? I am personally, you know, if I could go back in time and tell 10-year younger me what to do, it would be take an apprenticeship, get active in it. You're gonna, you know, part of it is just taking that first step, and you're gonna start learning so much, so fast. And so I think getting involved is like just taking that first step and getting involved is the big one.
Kyle, if you could introduce the youth to, I mean, you already are. I mean, you're speaking in a language that it seems it's very easy to connect with. But what would you say to someone who's interested in getting into EVs or learning more?
Yeah, well, this is a real good topic, real good point, something we've been focusing on recently. I was actually, so yeah, as everyone knows in this room, I can sort of jump to the point here, but there's a million different areas within the EV world that you can get into. You can get into vehicle design, you can get into charge station, and within charging, you can be on the hardware manufacturing side, you can be on the CMS backend software side, you can be on the CPO, actual integrating all the chargers into the field and managing a network. And so there's a bunch of charging specific applications. There's a bunch of vehicle specific applications. And then sort of what the approach I took was I used to work for automakers before I started full-time YouTube like 8 years ago. And that was my original career path, was to go work at BMW and then Tesla and work my way up there to be on the OE side. But I saw a real gap on the education piece, similar to what you guys are working on, which is why I started making videos originally, just showing where can you go with an electric car, like stopping at campgrounds and level 2 charging and doing all that was really fun back in the day. Now it's gotten so easy, but that doesn't mean people are less interested. So we do get a lot of people that are like, oh, can I make YouTube videos? And I'm like, awesome. Literally all you have to do is film 2 videos and send them to me, and they can be on whatever you want. And that takes about 95% of the people never send us a single piece of content after that conversation. So that weeds out most people. So like we talked about earlier, just doing it is step one. We film everything on iPhone. This exact phone is what you see every out of spec video shot with. And it's like, okay, no special equipment. Every kid's got a smartphone. Get a cheap pair of $100 mics or $50 mics if you want to up the quality, and just start filming cool stuff. That's literally all it is. You have to get educated, but there's so much information available online. And I'll leave everyone with a last piece if they wanted to get more involved just on the vehicle side of things. A couple days ago, I went to Heartland Community College, which is in Normal, Illinois. And we have a video going up on this, I think, tonight or tomorrow. And it was a whole program on how to service and to maintain electric cars and charging equipment, and also solar.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Let's do more of that. And then any one of our viewers or anyone out there can just sign up for some classes, get certified, and actually get into the service and repair field, because that is the biggest lack right now, is servicing all this charging equipment, especially, but also the vehicles.
Nick, do you have something to say about that? I saw you nodding.
No, it's correct. I think in 2025, 2026, the companies that are going to excel are the ones that can maintain charging infrastructure. And it's no small task. It's something we deal with every day. So I totally agree there. And yeah, I think the beauty of the world we live in today is this, we have the internet, we now have AI that synthesizes the internet. It's so easy to get involved with whatever you'd like to do, whether EV or not. It's as simple as asking a question, and then just continuing to move forward. But asking that first question and taking that first step is just so critical. And time is always against you, right? So the earlier you do it, right? So if I go back in time, it's like, what would I have done different in my life? I would have just got involved earlier. That's the only thing I would have done. Just done it earlier. So.
Awesome. I think that's getting close to our time. My official timekeeper is nodding at me. So Kyle, Nick, I want to thank you both for being here. Nick, I know you're going to be in the room for the reception. Kyle, I hope that we can get to connect soon. Before you both leave the stage, Kyle, I'm going to have to virtually hand you your piece of bling. But again, before you leave the stage, there's a piece of EV hardware that neither of you have, and we don't want you to leave without it. So on behalf of the Electric Vehicle Association, I want to celebrate Kyle Connor as EV Influencer of the Year. So congratulations, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate that. And
I am going to invite Yeah, I was gonna say, if you'd like to say a few words, the
Yeah.
stage is yours.
Yeah, no, just wanted to say a huge thank you. I mean, there's so many fantastic content creators out there that certainly are doing their part. I think we also just get a little bit lucky from YouTube algorithms, if I'm honest. There's great work being done out there. It's certainly not just us. It's not just out of spec. There's plenty of good EV content creators that are really working hard. And I always try to say, like, try not to push so much of an agenda. Just show what the cars can do. And if electric's better, then clearly that will be shown through. And honestly, electric is better in most categories, most every category. So yeah, congrats to you guys for building a cool, and continuing EVA for so long. Certainly appreciate the word. It's very, very kind. And again, I'm sorry I'm not there to join you in person. I was planning on it. I had my flights booked. I should have been there, and stuff just popped up. But I'm sure I'll see you all at an event at some point, maybe in different cities.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kyle. And on behalf of the New York EVA and Schenectady, you're always welcome in the Electric City for our Drive Electric Week. So thank you so much and Nick, thank you for coming out today for your leadership in technology. It's not easy always doing things on the backside that people don't always see. But what you're doing behind the scenes is making a difference for the user experience out there. We appreciate what you're doing for our students that are learning and getting involved in coding and making a difference and moving forward in their careers. So on behalf of the Electric Vehicle Association, I want to present you as EV Tech Leader of the Year. So congratulations. I'm going to do it for you. And now you are to pose for the obligatory picture. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for is for Chris to plug my PowerPoint presentation back in. Oh no, you're gonna make me look for the. Hold on. Are we back? This is serious, guys. Now, on to the celebration. Honorees, you know who you are, and we appreciate all you do. When you see your name up here, I'm going to ask that you please make your way to the front of the room. You are going to come up this side of the stage to my left, your right. And please receive your award from our EVA President, Elaine Borseth, and Executive Director, Chris Selleck. You will then pose in front of the EVA backdrop. Now, here's the decision point. Pay attention. After you get there, the decision point is you and your fabulous trophy may make your way to the stage over here for brief remarks, or you may happily return to your seat amongst applause, moving the program forward along and getting us all closer to drinks and snacks. Your choice. Your decision point. So our first award for tonight goes to our Rising EV Influencer of the Year, Joel Spencer. Oops, hold on. Sorry, I got very excited. Joel Spencer, who unfortunately could not be here with us tonight, but Joel's dedication to educating the EV community through his engaging podcast, informative YouTube interviews, YouTube reviews, and active social media presence truly sets him apart from making him a vital voice for current and future EV enthusiasts. I want to celebrate tonight Joel Spencer as Rising EV Influencer of the Year from EV Geek and All Things EV. Congratulations, Joel. Our next award is for EVA Chapter of the Year North. Wisconsin EVA, Jeremiah Brockman, please come to the stage. Jeremiah is the EVA chapter leader and has coordinated a Wisconsin EVA rally that brings together sponsors, EV drivers, and the public with a drive across the state to help bring awareness to EVs and all of their benefits. Congratulations to the Wisconsin EVA and Jeremiah.
You know, Jeremiah just sent the record for the shortest acceptance speech, so the challenge is up to you now.
Thank you for all you do. The EVA chapter of the year for the South is Austin Area EV. Aaron Schote, is Aaron going to join us online? Oh, I don't think, okay, there was question, but Aaron is going to be accepting this award probably virtually, and we will be sending that out to him. But his Austin EVA chapter is a dynamic hub of EV enthusiasm, regularly hosting events that feature a wide variety of electric vehicles. From compact city cars to cutting-edge electric trucks, they have showcased the full spectrum of EV technology to engage and educate the community. This chapter has participated with Electrify Expo for the past 2 years, and we appreciate all that they have done to continue to move forward in the Austin, Texas area. So congratulations to Austin Area EVA as EV Chapter of the Year South. And we have a volunteer. So thank you so much for the Austin EV. I kind of feel silly, but for EVA Chapter of the Year East, the Electric Vehicle Association is honoring the New York Capital District EVA and my fabulous team as Chapter of the Year for the East. I'm so proud of my team. I know several of you are in the room today. Thank you so much for helping to host today and for helping put on the #1 attended Electric Vehicle Association National Drive Electric Week in the entire USA. So I'm so proud of my team. I cannot do it alone. Thank you, all of you. And a big shout out to our team member, Paul O'Brien, who is recovering for surgery. And I know he was upset he could not be here, but we wish him all the best. So thank you, Paul, for all you do. Oh yeah, shoot, I didn't follow my own rules. Yeah. For real. They got me. Thank you guys. As I break in. The last of our EVA chapter awards, we would like to honor the Eastern Sierra EVA as Chapter of the Year West. Sarah Geiken. Is Sarah here? Oh, well, I'm going to read it anyway. Sarah's team is a small but mighty chapter, and their Eastern Sierra EVA chapter has been highly active, hosting numerous events that highlight the power and versatility of electric vehicles. They've proudly showcased EV trucks and even demonstrated their impressive towing capabilities, helping to dispel myths, we talked about that, about EV performance in rugged real-world conditions. So congratulations to the Eastern Sierra EVA, Sharon and her team. Congratulations. Next is our Young Professional of the Year, Ashley Lynn Kwa. Oh my. Thank you so much for all you do. Through her work with the New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association and Smart Electric Power Alliance, Ashley Lynn is dedicated to expanding EV adoption through best practices, which drives access and affordability. Ashley, congratulations to you for all you do, and I'm hoping that you're going to take this mic away from me for a minute. Come on. Yeah, you are.
I'm from New Jersey. I have to say words. So when we had our recent membership dinner in February at the NJEVA, one of the main things that I said to our members was I want every single person in this room to be their own EV champion and their own EV expert. So when your neighbor, your boss, your colleague, your friend, anybody asks you questions and says, what's going on with that executive order? Do I still get incentives? If I want to go and buy a car, how does that work now? And I wanted to empower them as the policy lead at the NJEVA to give them information so they had those answers. So they could go out and they can actually be an expert for all of those important people in their lives. So that way they had the answers, not so that way it was complicated, so that way it was easy. And I want to continue that mission every single day. And so I want to thank the National EVA for giving me this award, for recognizing these achievements of not just me, but the entire NJEVA, and for doing its mission every single day in 2025. Thanks.
Congratulations again, Ashley. We know that you are on the road and constantly advocating, so we appreciate it. Our next awardee for EV Educator of the Year is WD Shirley from Soulful Synergy. Congratulations to Will WD, who is the Director of Decarbonization at Soulful Synergy. He's one of our Educators of the Year, and he developed a comprehensive 9-hour training program funded by the New York State Energy and Research and Development Authority, also NYSERDA, available in both English and Spanish. WD, where you're going. No. His engaging curriculum demystifies concepts like dollars over kilowatt hour calculations and site feasibility, reaching over 1,000 individuals in New York State for free, and building a knowledgeable workforce and transportation electrification industry. We thank him for what he is doing from the corporate side of things, and that's why you were honored by the Electric Vehicle Association for Educator of the Year.
No, thank you to the EVA. This just means so much to me and Soulful Synergy. We aim to educate communities, and we think that a big obstacle isn't dispelling myths, but telling people about facts. And so really just happy with the opportunity. Thanks to our sponsors at NYSERDA for helping fund the education, making it free for all New Yorkers. And we think that's how the needle gets moved on EV adoption. So thanks. Have a good night.
And I want to bring up next Dr. Chris McNally, who has also been honored as Educator of the Year. Hudson Valley Community College. So congratulations to Dr. McNally. We could not decide. Honestly, the committee had such strong feelings about where and how to coordinate with, and I'm going completely off book here, because what WD does and what Dr. McNally does with our students is education, which is what our mission of the EVA is, but it's in different spectrums, and it's both actually elevating and amplifying. So we had to showcase what Dr. McNally and his team is doing. So I'm looking here from Hudson Valley, he's been pioneering efforts in creating industry-ready EV repair technicians through innovative degree and certificate programs. And as department chair, Dr. McNally has been instrumental in developing cutting-edge curriculum and securing grants to establish comprehensive training for both EV technicians and EV charging infrastructure professionals. This is definitely helping to continue our mission, and we thank you so much for what you're doing to move on to our next generation and retrain and retool folks for the EV industry. So thank you so much on behalf of the Electric Vehicle Association. EV Educator of the Year, Dr. Chris McNally.
I was just showing Kate my pink socks to match her pink shoes. So I just want to thank the Electric Vehicle Association, everybody here. I deeply appreciate this personally, but also thank you on behalf of Hudson Valley Community College. We've been actively involved in the electric vehicle industry since the early 2000s when Honda and Toyota came out with hybrid vehicles. Our automotive program immediately got into training technicians on how to service those vehicles. The big jump that we've made is getting into the charging aspect. My program, we have electrician training as well as the automotive, and the perfect marriage is right there. We've got our electricians on one side of the building, we got our automotive technicians on the other side of the building. We just put a charger in the middle and said, we got to train people how to do this. So we're training our technicians, our automotive technicians, how to fix the cars, but also how the charging system works, how the grid works. We're training our electricians on how the grid works, but we're also training them on the chargers and how the vehicle works, so they understand the full spectrum. So when they come out and they're going to work for industry, they have the experience to go in and be able to work in any side of it. And that's what we're looking for, is make sure that our students are able to go out there and be of service to the community and to be able to have good paying jobs. So that's what we're shooting for. So again, thank you personally, but also thank you on behalf of Hudson Valley Community College.
Well, I'm gonna wing it. The next person to receive an award from the Electric Vehicle Association is our EV Champion of the Year, Stephen St. Peter Jr. Stephen is unable to be with us tonight, but Stephen has Electrify Maine has been his baby. So out in a very rural area, Stephen has been championing electric vehicles, hosting ride and drives, working with electric vehicle car companies to have them come out and showcase to different communities. He's been working very hard to put in electric vehicle charging infrastructure out in rural areas of Maine and has been quite successful in doing so. He is kind of a one-man show out in his area, and his community nominated him, and we were happy to honor him tonight. We wish him the best and hope that we will get his trophy out in the mail. But let's give a round of applause for Stephen and all that he is doing out in Buckport, Maine. Our next awardees are here in the room with us tonight, and we want to recognize our EV Business Members of the Year, National Grid New York EV Team. We want to congratulate these business members. So as a business sponsor of the Electric Vehicle Association, you are in the running for this award. So I want to point that out to everybody. But the EV team has been working across New York State through extensive community outreach, customer education, and passionate advocacy. They actively promote EV benefits and incentives, helping achieve vital state and company sustainability goals. Congratulations, Renee Devine, Whitney Skeens, Donna Delarocco, Kate Carlio, and all of your team members. On behalf of the Electric Vehicle Association, congratulations, and thank you for being here tonight.
So hello, we have a really good team here. Renee is our manager of our team, who most of what we do on our immediate team is run the programs that can give you incentives and rebates to make installing EV charging stations or charging at your house even more affordable, and to really like get the EV industry rolling more quickly. But there are way more people at National Grid who do a lot of things to support EV charging stations beyond just our team. I think everybody knows that the grid has a lot to do in the next period of time to support the really rapid growth of EV charging that's happening. And there are a ton of people working on that, not just us. We're a part of it. But it's exciting to work on this hard problem that we're all working on right now. And anyway, we just appreciate this award. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And our next awardee is for EV City of the Year. We want to congratulate Madison, New Jersey, with Mayor Robert Conley, who is here to accept on the city's behalf. We are thrilled to announce the borough of Madison, New Jersey as City of the Year for their leadership in exemplifying by specific initiatives like offering a home charger rebate, achieving destination electric status, and strategically expanding public charging infrastructure within the city. Madison's commitment extends to electrifying their municipal fleet and fostering a deep community engagement through events like their successful EV Expo, making them an exceptional model for EV adoption across the state of New Jersey. Congratulations, Mayor Conley and the City of Madison.
I'm from New Jersey and I'm a mayor, so I have to grab the microphone. So I know I'm between now and cocktail hour, but we certainly appreciate this. Madison has mentioned 4 square miles, 17,000 residents. We can't lay claim to silly putty, but we were once the largest grower of roses in the country. And now we are an EV city, a city where we encourage our residents, educate them to go electric. We have the charging stations as mentioned. We have our passionate volunteers. Peter Freed right here puts together Expo and it researches everything we need to know. So it's very proud and we're honored to be setting an example for our country as EV City of the Year. Thank you.
This is a new award this year. There are Accelerating the Mission Award, and what the EVA's intention was to celebrate those partners that work with us that expands the mission of educating and accelerating the adoption of electric vehicles. As Elaine mentioned at the top of the hour when we were starting the show tonight, the elected officials to Protect America has partnered with us. Oops, I'm showing my screen. There we go. Nope. There we go. Partnered with us to do an EV road trip across several states last summer throughout 2024. And we are delighted to present them with this award. EOPA's crucial work perfectly aligns with the Electric Vehicle Association's purpose and significantly complements the efforts to accelerate EV adoption and sustainable transportation advocacy. EOPA has helped us highlight the crucial work to supporting legislators and what they are doing to help advance EV technology. As Lane mentioned, we were actually invited to attend their summit in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, and we will be presenting their award to them at that summit in Washington, D.C. So we thank them for what they have done, for their partnership, and we look forward to working with them in 2025 again. Congratulations, EOPA. There we go. Oh, nope. Our legislative ambassador of the year, and unfortunately, Congressman Paul Tonko had, oh, what is going on here? Had other commitments tonight, but he does send his remarks that he is so excited to be recognized by the Electric Vehicle Association, and we are honoring him tonight as Legislative Ambassador of the Year. We are proud to name him or give him this award as an EV driver himself. He is a powerful voice in Washington, D.C., tirelessly working to advance EV infrastructure, the strong fuel standards, and climate solutions. And we appreciate his participation in our 2024 federal tax credit webinar. So on behalf of the Electric Vehicle Association, thank you, Congressman Tonko, for all you do, and as Legislative Ambassador of the Year for 2024. Our next awardee is EV Ambassador of the Year, Commissioner Tim Eccles. And Commissioner Eccles is recognized as our EV Ambassador of the Year for significantly advanced EV adoption in Georgia by championing rate-based utility chargers and securing millions in funding for workplace and community charging infrastructure. Through initiatives like the Clean Energy Roadshow, the EV Brain Trust, and personal advocacy, he has consistently promoted EV awareness and fostered collaboration among state leaders. Congratulations, Commissioner Eccles.
You know, it's so important to get public officials in an EV. You've got your sticker here, and you know the difference that it makes for a policymaker to have ridden in a car, to drive a car, and I would even say loan them your car. And one of the things that I've done with some of the lease that I've had is to loan them to public officials to drive for a month. And I show them how to charge. I give them the car for a month. I buy the highest policy I can with State Farm in case they crash my car. And I let them experience it more than just a ride around the block, but an entire month of driving the car. So whether it's at a city council level, a county commission level, a state legislature, you know, a state official like myself, or a congressman, we need to make sure we can get these people in the car, that they will make better policy because of it. Thank you.
There he goes. I can't believe it's because it's past his bedtime. So unfortunately, I goofed. I do want to recognize Nathan Kulin as EV Student of the Year. As we mentioned earlier in the program, encouraging our young adults to be part of the EV movement is really important to the Electric Vehicle Association. And Nathan has been instrumental following along his parents' footsteps as leaders in his community. He brings out his electric Hot Wheels to charge or to all the EV events that their community is putting on. He tells people about electric vehicles. He's only ridden in electric vehicles, and he's one of those who is growing up with this technology and showing it to his friends and his community. He's always the first, according to the list here and his nominee, he's always the first to talk about electric vehicles with those who are doubtful, and he can turn people around. So I think I need to meet him in person. But congratulations to Nathan Kulin from the Arizona chapter for being a student advocate, and we recognize you as EV Student of the Year. Oops. And now you've heard enough from me. So I am going to turn it back over to our leadership, President Elaine Borthseth and Executive Director Chris Selleck.
So I want to thank everybody for being here. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve as EVA president. And I especially want to thank our board of directors, the city of Schenectady, Schenectady Historical Society. I think you all had an amazing tour on the CD, and thanks CDTA for the electric bus today. That was amazing. The Electric Grinch, Union College, the whole Linkwell team has been amazing. Proctor's Theater, like, could we pick a better venue? This is incredible. Allie B's will be serving us some delicious food, and congratulations to all of our award winners, and thank you to all of our chapter leaders and members. You're much appreciated.
Okay, I'm the guy who gets to stand between you, food, and drink. And I'd like to be from New Jersey and talk for a while. Is that okay? Where's our New Jersey folks? So, I'm from Ohio. I will be really brief. So, want to give you all some homework. You've all been resting while, where is Nick? Nick in person, Aaron online, Morgan in California, Elaine, our president, and Kate did all of the heavy lifting to put all of this on. So first assignment for all of you is to thank them with a huge round of applause. The mayor got to issue a proclamation. As executive director, I apparently have the power to issue proclamations and executive orders. So my first executive order as your executive director is for you all to join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to noon, for bagels. I understand they are the best bagels in all of the land, right? And to have some coffee with us in the morning before you leave town, and to offer a ride or a drive for visitors from the Schenectady area and the Capital District who join us tomorrow for our last DEAM event, Drive Electric Earth Month event. And it will be again, Kate, at Linkwell's headquarters on the Maxon Road extension, everyone, right? And you can register for the event. We ask you to register because our sponsors love to see how many participated, and it helps us secure funding to do the Drive Electric Earth Month event next year. So please scan and reserve. We'll see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. What's next? If we want to make sure that we get, before you go to food and drink, we'd like for everybody to kind of come up on stage, stand in front of the stage. We want to get a huge team photo so that we know who was here and that we're able to publish it and recognize all of you for participating. And then lastly, I want to thank each of you for everything that you do. You make EVA possible. You represent about 2,000 EVA members in dozens and dozens of chapters in the United States and in Canada. And we don't get to be here without your support, without your encouragement, and without you pointing the way. So thank you very much. And with that, we're finished with the official part, right? Oh, one, pardon me? So no pictures? Just go straight to food? Oh, picture first. So again, congratulations to all of our award winners who got their pictures taken already. But all of you award winners, please join us up in front of the stage, on the stage, and everyone else kind of fit in, smoosh in real tight in front of this so that we can get a huge group photo. Thank you.
My pleasure. Great program. You kept things moving. Hope everybody had a good experience here.